What if everything you've been taught about reality is incomplete? What if the external world is not something you respond to, but something you generate from within? What if the key to manifesting your dreams is not hard work, chance, or even belief, but something far more fundamental, something rooted in both ancient wisdom and cutting-edge science? Neville Goddard, the 20th century mystic and teacher, boldly declared that imagination creates reality. He insisted that our assumptions shape our experiences, that the world we see is nothing but the reflection of our inner state. For decades, many have practiced his teachings and reported astonishing results: instant healings, unexpected windfalls, and radical life transformations. But why do these methods work? How does a simple shift in consciousness cause the external world to bend in response? Modern physics may hold the answer. Quantum mechanics, the science governing the very fabric of reality, suggests that the universe is not a fixed, objective place but a fluid, malleable field of potential. It tells us that matter is not solid, that particles respond to observation, and that infinite versions of reality exist simultaneously. These principles, once thought of as purely theoretical, eerily echo what Neville had been teaching all along. Could it be that hidden within Neville's words are quantum codes, timeless truths that bridge spirituality and science, giving us the ultimate formula for manifestation? The mystery of Neville Goddard's teachings. Dare to believe in the reality of your assumption and watch the world play its part relative to its fulfillment. Neville's teachings have always been shrouded in a certain mystery. His words were simple yet profound, his instructions direct yet cryptic. He did not speak of effort, struggle, or external forces controlling our fate. Instead, he spoke of states of consciousness, of assuming the wish fulfilled, of persistently dwelling in an inner reality until it materializes in the outer world. Many have dismissed his work as mere philosophy, yet thousands, perhaps millions, have applied his techniques and witnessed undeniable transformations in their lives. Those who truly understand his teachings often describe a sense of wonder, as if discovering a hidden operating system to reality itself. But what if his methods are not just mystical metaphors? What if they are scientific in nature? What if living in the end aligns with quantum superposition, the idea that multiple realities exist simultaneously until one is observed into existence? What if feeling it real is a direct application of the observer effect, the proven concept that a particle's behavior changes when it is measured? What if assuming the wish fulfilled is the equivalent of collapsing the wave function, selecting a single outcome from an infinite field of possibilities? These questions are not just theoretical musings. They point to something profound, that Neville Goddard was not merely a spiritual teacher but a quantum pioneer who, whether knowingly or unknowingly, revealed the mechanics of manifestation centuries before science could explain it. Quantum reality and the power of imagination. All transformation begins with an intense, burning desire to be transformed. The first step in the renewing of the mind is desire. You must want to be different before you can begin to change yourself. At its core, quantum physics describes a world very different from what our senses perceive. It tells us that atoms, once thought of as tiny solid spheres, are actually waves of energy, that time is not linear but flexible, and that everything is connected in a vast, invisible field of potential. One of the most famous principles in quantum mechanics is the observer effect, the idea that when we observe a particle, we influence its state. Before being measured, a particle exists in a state of probability, meaning it could be in multiple places at once. The moment it is observed, however, it chooses a definite position. Neville's entire philosophy rests on this same foundation. 1. To desire a state is to have it. 2. Assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled and persist in that assumption, and you will realize it. In other words, just as a quantum particle exists in multiple states until observed, your desired reality exists as a potential until you assume it as already real. The moment you do, you cause reality to collapse into that specific outcome. This is why Neville emphasized feeling as the key to manifestation. To feel something as real before it appears is not just positive thinking, it is an act of quantum selection. The code within you, unlocking the quantum mechanics of manifestation. You are already that which you want to be, and your refusal to believe this is the only reason you do not see it. If Neville was correct, if imagination truly creates reality, then his teachings are not just metaphysical speculation. They are the operating instructions for how to manipulate the quantum field of existence. But how do you apply these hidden quantum codes in everyday life? How do you go from understanding these concepts intellectually to experiencing them as undeniable truth? This book will explore exactly that. You will learn 1. How quantum entanglement explains why everything you seek is already connected to you. 2. Why the many worlds interpretation suggests that every possible version of your life already exists. 3. How collapsing the wave function mirrors Neville's concept of assuming the state of your wish fulfilled. 4. The exact step-by-step process to apply these principles and shift into your desired reality. By the time you finish this book, you will see Neville's teachings in a new light, not as abstract philosophy, but as scientific law. You will recognize that you are not merely a passive observer in the universe, but an active creator, capable of bending reality to your will. Most importantly, you will understand the final quantum code hidden within Neville's words. You are the operant power. You are the one creating everything in your world. Nothing comes into being unless you first conceive it within yourself. The question is not whether manifestation works. It always does. The only question is whether you are using these principles deliberately or unconsciously. It's time to awaken to the truth. It's time to unlock the hidden quantum codes within you. Chapter 1: The Observer Effect and the Law of Assumption. All things exist in the human imagination, and everything you see in the world was once only imagined. Neville Goddard. What if reality isn't something happening to you, but something happening through you? What if, instead of being a passive observer in the world, you are actually its creator, shaping and molding reality simply by what you focus on and assume to be true? Neville Goddard's teachings hinge on one simple yet profound principle. What you assume to be true becomes your reality. He called this the law of assumption, the idea that your external world is nothing more than a reflection of your inner beliefs. But how does this work? Modern physics may provide the answer. One of the most baffling discoveries in quantum mechanics is the observer effect, the idea that simply observing something can change its behavior. Scientists have found that reality at the subatomic level is not fixed. It remains in a state of potential until a conscious observer interacts with it. This discovery aligns almost perfectly with Neville's philosophy. He taught that reality is fluid, responding to our assumptions and attention. The moment we assume something is true, whether consciously or unconsciously, we collapse reality into a specific outcome, just as a quantum particle collapses into a definite state when observed. Could it be that Neville, without using scientific language, was describing a hidden quantum law all along? What quantum physics reveals about observation and reality? Man moves in a world that is nothing more or less than his consciousness objectified. Neville Goddard. To understand the observer effect, let's look at one of the most famous experiments in quantum mechanics, the double-slit experiment. Physicists discovered that when electrons, tiny subatomic particles, are shot through two slits toward a screen, they behave in two completely different ways depending on whether or not they are observed. 1. When unobserved, the electrons act like waves, passing through both slits simultaneously and creating an interference pattern, as if they exist in multiple places at once. 2. But when observed, the electrons suddenly change their behavior, collapsing into tiny particles that pass through only one slit, as if they have been forced into a single position. This experiment suggests that matter itself does not take a definite form until it is observed. In other words, at the fundamental level of existence, reality is not fixed. It is a field of infinite possibilities until a conscious observer chooses one. Neville spoke of this principle decades before quantum mechanics gained mainstream recognition. He often emphasized that what you focus on and assume to be real will crystallize into physical form. 1. The world is yourself pushed out. 2. Dare to believe in the reality of your assumption and watch the world play its part relative to its fulfillment. In both Neville's teachings and quantum mechanics, the act of observation, whether through scientific measurement or conscious assumption, determines the outcome. The law of assumption. How observation shapes your reality. Assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled and persist in that assumption, and it must be realized. Neville Goddard. The law of assumption states that whatever you accept as true in your mind will inevitably become true in your physical experience. Neville taught that the external world is nothing more than a mirror, reflecting your dominant thoughts, beliefs, and emotions. If you assume success, success must manifest. If you assume failure, failure will appear. The world does not create your beliefs. Rather, your beliefs create the world you experience. Think of it this way. 1. If you observe and expect poverty, you collapse into the version of reality where poverty is real for you. 2. If you observe and assume abundance, you shift into a version of reality where prosperity is natural and inevitable. Neville explained this beautifully. Change your conception of yourself, and you will automatically change the world in which you live. Just as quantum particles remain in a state of possibility until observed, your life remains in a state of infinite potential until you consciously assume a specific reality. This means that nothing in your life is set in stone. Circumstances are not fixed. Everything, your health, relationships, finances, and opportunities, is fluid and responsive to your assumptions. The hidden quantum code. You become what you consistently observe and assume. You rise to the level of your assumptions. Neville Goddard. If quantum mechanics and Neville's teachings are correct, then the key to shifting your reality is simple. 1. Observe only what you want to experience. 2. Assume the feeling of your desired reality before it appears. 3. Persist in this assumption until the world rearranges itself to reflect it. Your dominant state of being, the thoughts you think most often, the emotions you feel most deeply, the reality you expect most consistently, acts as the observer that collapses reality into a specific form. This is why Neville placed so much emphasis on living in the end, the practice of imagining and feeling as though your desire is already fulfilled. 1. If you will assume your desire and live there as though it were true, no power on earth can stop it from becoming a fact. 2. The difference between feeling yourself rich and feeling yourself poor is exactly that, feelings. What are you assuming? Most people unknowingly assume the opposite of what they want. They observe their current limitations, believe in their circumstances, and reinforce their struggles through continued focus. But just like in the double-slit experiment, whatever you give your conscious attention to collapses into reality. To unlock this hidden quantum code, you must make a powerful shift. Stop observing the world as it is. Start observing the world as you assume it should be. Practical exercise. Becoming the conscious observer of your reality. To integrate the law of assumption and the observer effect into your daily life, try this simple but powerful exercise. 1. Choose a desire. Pick something you want to manifest, a financial goal, a relationship, a new job, or better health. 2. Enter the state of the wish fulfilled. Close your eyes and imagine, in vivid detail, what it feels like to already have it. 3. Observe this reality daily. Every time your mind wants to focus on what is, shift your attention back to your assumed reality. Feel it real. 4. Persist until reality conforms. Continue assuming this state regardless of external evidence. Reality must eventually mirror your assumption. Remember, the world around you is not fixed. It is an extension of your own consciousness. The moment you truly assume a new reality, you collapse into it. Final thought. You are the operant power. You are already that which you want to be, and your refusal to believe this is the only reason you do not see it. Neville Goddard. The greatest secret hidden in both quantum mechanics and Neville's teachings is this. You are the operant power. Reality is not something happening to you. It is something happening because of you. The world is a quantum field of infinite possibilities. Your assumptions determine which version of reality you step into. The question is, what reality are you observing into existence? Chapter 2. The Multiverse and the Power of States. The whole vast world is no more than the outpicturing of your imaginal activity. Neville Goddard. What if every version of your life already exists? The successful you, the wealthy you, the fulfilled and joyous you, all waiting for you to step into their world? This idea may sound radical, yet both quantum physics and Neville Goddard's teachings point to a startling truth. Every possible reality already exists, and you have the power to shift into the one you desire. The many worlds interpretation of quantum mechanics suggests that reality does not unfold in a single linear path, but instead branches into infinite parallel possibilities. At every moment, every choice, and every assumption, you are shifting between these possibilities, whether consciously or unconsciously. Neville Goddard taught something eerily similar. He called it the power of states, the idea that all possible versions of you already exist, and your experience of life is simply a reflection of the state you most frequently occupy. 1. Change the feeling of the I, and you change the world in which you live. 2. Man's chief delusion is his conviction that there are causes other than his own state of consciousness. If quantum physics suggests that all realities exist simultaneously, and Neville's teachings say that our state of consciousness determines which reality we experience, then the hidden quantum code is clear. Every state exists now. You only need to shift into it. The many worlds interpretation. Every possibility already exists. In classical physics, we are taught that reality is singular. There is one timeline, one set of events, and one version of life that unfolds like a story with a beginning, middle, and end. But quantum mechanics challenges this idea. The many worlds interpretation proposes that every time a quantum event occurs, reality splits into multiple parallel worlds, each representing a different outcome. Instead of one fixed future, there are infinite possible futures, all coexisting at once. Physicist Hugh Everett III, who first proposed this theory, suggested that each time a decision is made, whether large or small, the universe branches out, creating a separate version where every possible choice plays out. If this is true, then right now, there exists 1. A version of you who is wildly successful. 2. A version of you who is struggling. 3. A version of you who has already achieved your dreams. 4. A version of you who never took the leap. And the difference between them, the state of being you assume. Neville's teachings on shifting states as parallel realities. A state is an attitude of mind, a body of beliefs, a phase of experience. You are free to enter any state. Neville Goddard. Neville Goddard didn't use the term multiverse, but he described the same phenomenon in the language of consciousness. Instead of parallel realities, he spoke of states, a collection of thoughts, feelings, and beliefs that define your experience at any given moment. 1. When you are in a state of lack, you experience a world of limitation. 2. When you shift into a state of abundance, you experience a world of wealth. 3. When you embody the state of love, you attract loving experiences. Neville taught that these states exist independently of each other, just like parallel worlds in quantum physics. You don't create them, you select them. 1. Nothing comes from without. All things come from within, from the subconscious. 2. There is no fiction. If something is thought, it exists. If every state already exists, then manifestation is not about creating something new. It's about aligning with a version of reality that is already present. This is why Neville's most famous teaching was living in the end. He instructed his students to assume the feeling of their wish fulfilled, because doing so would naturally shift them into the state where that reality already exists. To desire a state is to have it. The hidden quantum code. Every state exists now. You only need to shift into it. If both quantum mechanics and Neville's teachings are correct, then shifting your reality is as simple as shifting your state of consciousness. 1. Identify the state you desire. What does the version of you who has what you want feel like? 2. Embody that state now. Assume the thoughts, feelings, and actions of that version of yourself. 3. Persist until reality conforms. Do not waver. The world must reflect your chosen state. Neville explained this process in one sentence. The world does not change, it only unfolds according to states. You are never stuck. You are never bound to your current circumstances. You are simply inhabiting a state, and at any moment, you can step into a new one. Practical exercise. Shifting states and stepping into your desired reality. To apply the power of states, try this simple yet powerful practice. Exercise. The state-shifting technique. 1. Close your eyes and imagine the version of you who already has your desire. Feel the reality of it. 2. Ask yourself, what thoughts does this version of me have? How do they feel? How do they act? 3. For the next 24 hours, embody this state completely. Move, think, and behave as if you have already arrived. The key is to sustain the feeling. Neville said, remain faithful to the state of your wish fulfilled, and it must become your reality. Final thought. You are a multi-dimensional being. You are not a victim of fate. You are the creator of your own destiny. Neville Goddard. You are not bound by your past. You are not limited by your circumstances. Right now, in this very moment, There is a version of you already living the life you desire. The question is not if you can achieve your dreams. The question is, will you shift into the state where they already exist? Chapter 3: Quantum Entanglement and the Oneness of All Things. You are God. There is no other. Neville Goddard. At the deepest level of reality, everything is connected. Quantum physics calls this phenomenon quantum entanglement, where two or more particles, no matter how far apart, remain instantaneously linked. What happens to one immediately affects the other, as if they are one. This challenges the illusion of separateness, something Neville Goddard taught throughout his life. He proclaimed that there is no separation between you and your desires, between you and the world, between you and God. Everything exists within you. 1. Consciousness is the only reality, not figuratively but actually. 2. You are not a drop in the ocean. You are the entire ocean in a drop. Quantum physics and Neville's teachings both point to the same fundamental truth. There is no external world separate from you. Your inner world determines everything. The quantum mystery: everything is connected. The famous Einstein-Podolsky-Rosen (EPR) paradox in quantum mechanics was originally meant to prove that quantum theory was incomplete. But instead, it led to an astonishing discovery: quantum entanglement. Physicists discovered that when two particles become entangled, their states are forever linked, no matter how far apart they are. If you measure one particle, the other reacts instantaneously, even if it's on the other side of the universe. Albert Einstein famously called this spooky action at a distance. But today, we know it is a fundamental property of reality. This means that separation is an illusion. Everything in the universe, every person, every event, every possibility, is already connected. And if this is true, then your desires are not out there. They are already part of you. Neville's teaching, you are God, everything exists within you. Neville Goddard repeatedly emphasized that the outer world is not separate from the inner world. It is an expression of it. 1. You do not have to work to create the things you desire. The world is yourself pushed out, and all that you behold, though it appears without, it is within, in your imagination. 2. The whole vast world is yourself made visible. In Neville's teachings, this is not just philosophy, it is a practical truth. If the outer world is a mirror of your consciousness, then everything you seek is already within you. There is no need to chase, struggle, or fight for your desires. You simply need to align with them within. Neville took this further by saying that you are God, not in an egotistical sense, but in the realization that the divine power that creates and shapes reality exists within your consciousness. 1. I and my Father are one. 2. Imagination is God, and if imagination creates reality, then you are its creator. This means that the entanglement you see in quantum physics is also true in your life. Your desires are not separate from you. They are entangled with you. The moment you shift your consciousness, the external world must shift as well. The hidden quantum code. There is no separation. Your desires already exist within you. If quantum entanglement shows that two particles remain connected no matter the distance, and if Neville teaches that the world is an extension of your imagination, then the hidden quantum code is clear. Your desires are not separate from you. They are already yours. This is why Neville emphasized living in the end, feeling the fulfillment of your wish as if it has already happened. 1. Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled and persist in that assumption, and it must become reality. When you assume the state of having your desire, you activate the entanglement between you and that reality. Just as entangled particles influence each other instantaneously, your inner state influences the world around you. Practical exercise, the oneness meditation. To experience this truth for yourself, try this exercise. The oneness meditation. 1. Close your eyes and take a few deep breaths. 2. Imagine a golden light expanding from your heart, connecting you to everything in the universe. 3. See your desire as already fulfilled, not as something separate from you, but as something already within you. 4. Feel the gratitude as if it is already yours. 5. Affirm, I am one with my desire. It is already mine. Repeat this daily, and watch as reality begins to mirror your inner state. Final thought. You are already one with all that you seek. You are already that which you want to be, and your refusal to believe this is the only reason you do not see it. Neville Goddard. Quantum physics and Neville Goddard's teachings reveal the same ultimate truth. There is no separation. Everything you desire is already within you. The only question is, will you accept it as true? Chapter 4. Collapsing the wave function. Choosing your reality. Dare to assume you are what you want to be, and you will compel everyone to play their part. Neville Goddard. What if every possibility already exists? What if right now, in this very moment, there is a version of you who is wealthy, successful, and fulfilled, just waiting for you to step into that reality? Quantum physics tells us that before we observe something, it exists in a state of pure potential, a cloud of possibilities where anything could happen. But the moment we focus our attention, the wave of possibilities collapses into one concrete reality. This is known as the collapse of the wave function. Neville Goddard taught the exact same principle in different words. He called it feeling it real. He insisted that reality is not fixed. Rather, it is malleable, shaped by your assumptions and feelings. 1. Man moves in a world that is nothing more or less than his consciousness objectified. 2. To desire a state is to have it. If quantum physics suggests that we choose one reality out of many, and Neville teaches that we manifest what we assume to be true, then the hidden quantum code is clear. Living in the wish fulfilled selects a reality from the infinite field. Quantum superposition. Every reality exists until you choose one. In classical physics, objects exist in a single, definite state. But quantum physics shows us something far more mysterious. Particles exist in multiple states at once. This is called quantum superposition, the idea that, until observed, a particle exists in all possible positions simultaneously. The famous Schrödinger's cat thought experiment illustrates this bizarre concept. Imagine a cat in a box with a quantum trigger that has a 50% chance of releasing poison. Until you open the box, the cat is both alive and dead at the same time, existing in a state of probability. The moment you open the box and look inside, the wave of possibilities collapses, and you see only one outcome. Either the cat is alive or it is dead. This isn't just theoretical. Scientists have confirmed that particles behave in multiple ways until they are observed. This means that reality itself is fluid and exists in multiple potential states, until you choose one. Now, let's translate this to your life. Right now, Every version of you exists simultaneously. 1. The version who is rich. 2. The version who is struggling. 3. The version who has achieved their dream life. 4. The version who never takes action. Just like a quantum particle, your life is in superposition, a field of infinite possibilities. But the moment you assume one reality as true, you collapse the wave function, and that reality becomes your experience. Neville's feeling it real technique, the act of collapsing the wave function. Neville Goddard did not speak of wave functions or quantum mechanics, but he masterfully understood the power of selection. His entire philosophy revolved around one core principle. What you assume to be true becomes your reality. 1. To assume is to create. To persist in the assumption is to make it real. 2. If you will assume your desire and live there as though it were true, no power on earth can stop it from becoming a fact. This is feeling it real. Neville taught that your imagination is God, and whatever you impress upon your subconscious through deep feeling and conviction will manifest in your life. This means that when you close your eyes and vividly imagine your desire as already fulfilled, you are collapsing the wave function of infinite possibilities and selecting the reality you want to experience. Neville insisted that this process must be done with emotion, conviction, and persistence. 1. Feeling is the secret. 2. Assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled and continue in that assumption until it hardens into fact. In quantum physics, an observation forces reality to take form. In Neville's teachings, a deeply felt assumption forces the external world to conform to your inner vision. The principle is the same. You don't wait for reality to change before you believe. You believe first, and in doing so, you bring the unseen into form. The hidden quantum code, living in the wish fulfilled, selects a reality from the infinite field. Now that we understand both quantum mechanics and Neville's teachings, we can extract the hidden quantum code. Your reality is not predetermined. It is chosen. Every possible outcome exists right now. You do not need to create your dream life. You simply need to select it. You do this by 1. Defining the reality you want. Be clear about what you desire. 2. Feeling it as already done. Assume it. Live in it mentally. Feel it. 3. Persisting in that state. Hold the assumption until reality shifts. Neville put it beautifully. You must dare to assume you are that which you want to be. If you do, you will become it. The world is not fixed. You are not bound to one fate. Right now, in this moment, you are the observer collapsing the wave function of your life. Practical exercise. The wave function collapse technique. To apply this principle, try this simple yet profound exercise. Exercise. The wave function collapse technique. 1. Close your eyes and relax. 2. Imagine yourself in the reality you desire. Make it vivid, see it, hear it, feel it. 3. Engage your senses. What does this version of your life feel like? Who are you with? What are you doing? 4. Feel it as real, not as something in the future, but as something happening now. 5. Let go of doubts and persist. Continue assuming this reality, knowing the wave function has already collapsed. Final thought. You are the creator of your reality. Man's chief delusion is his conviction that there are causes other than his own state of consciousness. Neville Goddard. Quantum mechanics and Neville Goddard reveal the same truth. Reality is not something you passively experience. It is something you actively choose. The only question is, which reality will you collapse into existence? Chapter 5. The zero-point field and the feeling of the wish fulfilled. All things exist in the human imagination, and it is from this imagination that one brings to the surface reality. Neville Goddard. Imagine an ocean of infinite energy, where everything that ever was or will be is already present in potential form, just waiting to be expressed into reality. This is what modern physicists call the zero-point field, a vast, unseen quantum energy field that pervades everything. Scientists have discovered that even in the vacuum of space, where we expect absolute emptiness, there is still energy, a boundless, limitless source that connects all things. Neville Goddard, though not a physicist, taught something eerily similar. Everything you desire already exists. It may not yet be visible, but it is already real in the unseen realm. And the bridge between the invisible and the visible, the quantum potential and the manifested world, is your imagination. 1. Man moves in a world that is nothing more or less than his consciousness objectified. 2. You are already that which you want to be, and your refusal to believe this is the only reason you do not see it. In this chapter, we will explore how the zero-point field aligns with Neville's teachings on the feeling of the wish fulfilled and uncover the hidden quantum code that allows you to transform the unseen into the seen. The zero-point field, the infinite source of creation. In quantum physics, scientists have found that space is not empty. Even in the coldest, most lifeless vacuum, there is still energy. This is called zero-point energy, the lowest possible energy state of a system, yet teeming with infinite potential. It suggests that beneath what we call reality, there exists an invisible energy field that is the foundation of everything. The implications are profound. 1. The universe is not solid and separate from you. It is an interconnected, fluid field of potential. 2. Everything you desire already exists as energy within this field. 3. The act of focusing your awareness brings the unseen into reality. Now compare this to Neville's teachings. 1. Creation is finished. It is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. The works are finished, and all that is required of you to do is to appropriate that which already is. This means that you do not need to create your desires from nothing. Instead, you simply need to align yourself with them, just like tuning into a radio station that is already broadcasting. Your imagination is the tuner. Neville's concept, everything already exists in potential form. Neville repeatedly emphasized that you are not creating anything. You are merely selecting from an already existing field of possibilities. 1. All possible states exist, and you have the power to select the state you will occupy. But the state selected is the state you must firmly assume until it becomes your nature. This is an exact match to what quantum physics tells us. Reality exists as a superposition of possibilities, and it is only through observation and intention that one of these potentials solidifies into our experience. What does this mean for you? Your wealth, your success, your perfect relationship, they all exist now in the unseen field of potential. The only reason you do not experience them is that you are not yet tuned into them. The hidden quantum code. Imagination is the interface between the physical and the unseen field of potential. Here lies the secret. If the zero-point field holds infinite potential, and Neville's teachings say that all creation is finished, then the missing key is imagination is the interface. This is why Neville constantly emphasized the feeling of the wish fulfilled. 1. Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled and persist in that assumption. That which you assume must come to pass. 2. The world is a mirror, forever reflecting what you are doing within yourself. In other words, you must mentally and emotionally place yourself in the state of already having your desire. This is not pretending, it is stepping into an existing reality. If everything exists within the 0-point field, then your job is simply to shift your consciousness until it aligns with what you wish to experience. This is why Neville told his students, "You must dare to assume you are that which you want to be. If you do, you will become it." Practical application. Tuning into your desired reality. To bridge the gap between physics and mysticism, we must now bring these principles into practice. Exercise, the 0-point tuning technique. 1. Find a quiet space and relax your body. 2. Close your eyes and imagine your desired reality. Don't just visualize, immerse yourself in it. 3. Engage your senses. What does it feel like? What do you hear? Who is with you? 4. Feel as if it is already yours. Experience the emotions of fulfillment and gratitude now. 5. Persist in this state. Let it become natural, just like a memory of something that has already happened. By doing this, you are tapping into the 0-point field and aligning yourself with a reality that already exists. Final thought. You are the architect of your reality. Neville Goddard and quantum physics are telling us the same thing. Reality is not fixed. It is fluid, ever-changing, and shaped by your imagination. 1. The 0-point field is the limitless source of all things. 2. Your imagination is the bridge between the unseen and the seen. 3. Feeling the wish fulfilled is the act of tuning into an existing reality. 4. The only thing left for you to do is assume the feeling, persist in it, and watch reality shift around you. Chapter 6. Time is an illusion, the instantaneous nature of manifestation. The whole vast world is yourself pushed out. Neville Goddard. What if I told you that time is not what you think it is? What if everything you desire is not waiting to arrive in some distant future, but already exists right now? Modern physics has shattered the classical view of time as a straight line moving from past to future. Instead, time is an illusion, a construct of human perception. Scientists studying relativity, quantum mechanics, and the fabric of space-time have found that the past, present, and future all coexist simultaneously. Neville Goddard was not a scientist, but he was a mystic who arrived at the same conclusion. Over and over, he insisted. 1. The distinction between past, present, and future is an illusion. Everything exists now. 2. Change your conception of yourself, and you will automatically change the world in which you live. This means you do not need to wait for your manifestation to arrive. You do not need to move through time to reach it. You shift into it. In this chapter, we will explore how quantum physics supports Neville's teachings on the illusion of time and reveal the hidden quantum code that allows for instantaneous manifestation. Quantum physics. Time is not what you think it is. For centuries, people believed time flowed like a river, one direction, one speed, unchangeable. Then along came Albert Einstein, who proved that time is relative and depends on the observer. The block universe theory, a concept in physics, takes this further. It states that past, present, and future all exist simultaneously, like frames of a movie reel. You, as the observer, experience one frame at a time, but all frames are already there. What does this mean for manifestation? It means your dream life already exists right now. You do not need to create it or wait for it. You need only shift your awareness to it. Now compare this to Neville's words. 1. All that you could ever desire exists now. 2. Your assumption, though false, if persisted in, will harden into fact. If time is an illusion, then what you call the future is merely a different state of consciousness that you have yet to enter. Neville's teachings, the past, present, and future exist now. Neville consistently taught that everything already exists within you. The only thing keeping you from experiencing your desired reality is your current state of consciousness. 1. The only reason you do not see it is because you are still in the state where it has not yet materialized. He gave the example of stepping into different rooms in a house. 1. If you are in the kitchen, you cannot see the bedroom, but that does not mean the bedroom does not exist. 2. Similarly, if you are in a state of lack, you cannot see your abundance, but it exists right now in another state. 3. The key is shifting states, not waiting for time to deliver your desires. This is why Neville emphasized the feeling of the wish fulfilled. 1. It is not what you want that you attract. You attract what you believe to be true. 2. Assume you are already the person you wish to be, and you will become it. This is not about waiting. It is about being. The hidden quantum code. You do not wait for your manifestation. You shift into it. If time is an illusion and all possibilities exist now, then your future self, the one who has already achieved your dream, is already real. The only reason you are not living that reality is because you have not yet stepped into that version of yourself. How do you shift? Through conscious assumption. 1. Assume you are already the person who has what you desire. 2. Feel it as real. 3. Persist in that state until reality reflects it back to you. This is what Neville meant when he said, "Dare to believe in the reality of your assumption and watch the world play its part relative to its fulfillment." Quantum physics supports this. 1. The many worlds interpretation suggests all versions of you already exist. 2. The observer effect states that reality conforms to the expectations of the observer. 3. Your state of consciousness determines which reality you experience. Therefore, you do not manifest over time. You manifest through identity. 1. The poor man who desires riches must not wish for wealth in the future. He must assume wealth now. 2. The lonely person must not long for love someday. They must assume they are loved now. 3. The sick person must not wait for healing. They must assume health now. As Neville said, 1. Be still and know that you are that which you desire to be, and you will never have to search for it. It will come to you. Practical application. Shifting into your desired reality now. To make this real, let's do an exercise to collapse the illusion of time and step into your ideal future now. Exercise. The instantaneous shift. 1. Close your eyes and imagine your future self, the one who already has your desire. 2. Step into their body. Feel their emotions, thoughts, and experiences as if they are happening now. 3. Breathe deeply and affirm. 1. I am this now. 2. This reality is already mine. 4. Let go of all thoughts of time. The more real this feels, the faster it hardens into fact. Remember, it is already done. You are not creating, It is simply a matter of alignment. Final thought. You are the operant power. Neville Goddard and quantum physics both reveal the same truth. 1. Time is an illusion. 2. Everything already exists. 3. Your assumptions dictate your experience. The moment you assume it is done, time rearranges itself to reflect your new reality. The only question is, are you ready to step into it? Chapter 7. Tuning into the right frequency. How to shift your state. You must make your future dream a present fact by assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Neville Goddard. If you were to tune a radio to a classical music station, would you expect to hear rock music? Of course not. The signal you receive depends entirely on the frequency to which your radio is tuned. Now, what if I told you that reality works the same way? The universe is not responding to your desires, it is responding to your state. Just like a radio, you must tune into the correct frequency to receive the experience you want. Quantum physics calls this resonance, the phenomenon where energy systems vibrate in harmony with each other. Neville Goddard called it living in the state of the wish fulfilled. 1. It is not what you want that you attract. You attract what you are conscious of being. 2. To desire a state is to have it, but you must not only desire it, you must also become it. This is the key to manifesting effortlessly. You do not chase, you do not force. Instead, you shift into the state where what you desire is already real. In this chapter, we will explore the science of frequency alignment, how Neville's teachings on living from the wish fulfilled match this principle, and the hidden quantum code that allows you to shift into any reality you desire. Quantum resonance, aligning with the frequency of your desire. Physicists have long studied the power of resonance, the ability of one vibrating system to influence another. When two systems share the same frequency, they begin to resonate and amplify each other. For example, 1. If you strike a tuning fork near another tuning fork tuned to the same frequency, the second fork will start vibrating without being touched. 2. If a radio station broadcasts at 101.1 FM, you must tune your radio to 101.1 FM to receive the signal. Now, apply this to manifestation. 1. Your thoughts, feelings, and assumptions are broadcasting a frequency. 2. Your reality is simply the reflection of the frequency you are tuned into. 3. If you are in a state of lack, you resonate with lack. If you are in a state of abundance, you resonate with abundance. This is exactly what Neville taught. 1. Everything depends upon your attitude towards yourself. That which you will not affirm as true of yourself can never be realized by you. 2. Change your conception of yourself, and you will automatically change the world in which you live. If you want to experience a different reality, you must change your frequency by shifting your internal state. Neville's teachings, living from, not toward, your wish fulfilled. Most people live toward their desires. They hope, wish, and dream about a future reality where they are successful, wealthy, or loved. But as Neville repeatedly taught, this is the wrong approach. 1. You must assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled and live in that state as though it were already true. 2. Do not condition your desire. Just assume it is done and allow the world to confirm it. The key phrase is assume it is done. If you were already the person you wanted to be, how would you feel? How would you act? What would you expect? The mistake most people make is remaining in their old state while hoping for a new reality. But hoping for change keeps you in the state of not having. You must shift into the state of already having it. Neville gave a simple test. 1. If you truly believed you were wealthy, would you worry about money? 2. If you truly believed you were loved, would you feel lonely? 3. If you truly believed your dream was already fulfilled, would you keep asking for it? To desire a state is to have it, but you must not only desire it, you must become it. The hidden quantum code, your dominant state determines your reality. Quantum physics confirms that everything exists as a probability until it is observed. What you perceive as reality is simply the version of the quantum field that matches your state of consciousness. Neville expressed the same idea in spiritual terms. 1. A change of feeling is a change of destiny. 2. To the pure, all things are pure. You see only the contents of your consciousness projected outwardly. The hidden quantum code is this. Rocket, you do not attract what you want. You attract what you consistently assume to be true. To shift realities, you must 1. Identify your current frequency. 1. Are you operating from a state of lack or abundance? 2. Are you feeling loved or unloved? 3. Are you feeling successful or struggling? 2. Shift into the new state. 1. Close your eyes and imagine already having what you desire. 2. Feel it as real as possible. 3. Walk, talk, and think as the version of you who has it. 3. Maintain the new frequency. 1. Stop looking for evidence of change. Your external world will catch up to your inner shift. 2. Ignore the old reality. It is merely a reflection of your past state. 3. Persist until it hardens into fact. Your assumption, though false, if persisted in, will harden into fact. Practical application. The frequency shift exercise. Let's make this shift real with a simple exercise. 1. Decide what you want. Be specific. 2. Close your eyes and feel as though you already have it. 3. Breathe deeply and repeat. 1. I am already this. 2. This is my reality now. 4. Carry this feeling throughout your day. If doubt arises, remember. 1. You do not have to make it happen. 2. You do not have to force the world to change. 3. You only have to stay in the new state long enough for reality to match it. Just like a radio, stay tuned to the right frequency and your desired reality will appear. Final thought. You are the tuner, not the signal. Everything you desire already exists. You are not creating it. You are tuning into it. 1. If you want wealth, tune into the state of wealth. 2. If you want love, tune into the state of love. 3. If you want success, tune into the state of success. Neville summed it up best. Man moves in a world that is nothing more or less than his consciousness objectified. Your dominant state determines your reality. 1. So, what frequency will you choose today? Chapter 8. Imagination as the quantum key to reality. Imagination is the only redemptive power in the universe. Neville Goddard. What if everything you see, touch, and experience is nothing more than a projection of your own imagination? What if the very fabric of reality bends, not to the laws of the external world, but to the unseen forces of your consciousness? Neville Goddard's teachings have always centered on one core truth. Imagination creates reality. While this idea may seem mystical, modern quantum physics is beginning to confirm what Neville knew all along, that consciousness itself plays a fundamental role in shaping the physical world. In this chapter, we will explore 1. How imagination is the hidden key to reality. 2. The quantum mechanics behind why imagination affects the material world. 3. The hidden quantum code. Your imagination is the operating system of the universe. Imagination creates reality, the foundation of Neville's teachings. Neville's entire philosophy rests on one truth. All things exist in the human imagination, and the human imagination is the only reality. He did not just mean this metaphorically, he meant it literally. The world around you is not something separate from you. It is not an external force acting upon you. Instead, it is a direct reflection of what you hold in your imagination. 1. Dare to believe in the reality of your assumption and watch the world play its part relative to its fulfillment. 2. The world is yourself pushed out, and you are forever molding your world in harmony with your inner nature. What you consistently imagine, feel, and assume hardens into fact. This is not wishful thinking, it is a law of reality. But how does this work? To understand this, we must turn to quantum mechanics, a branch of physics that suggests the act of observation itself influences reality. Quantum mechanics. Consciousness shapes reality. Quantum physics has revealed something shocking. The world does not exist in a definite state until it is observed. This is best demonstrated by the famous double-slit experiment. 1. When scientists shoot particles, such as electrons, through two slits in a barrier, they behave like waves, meaning they pass through both slits at the same time, existing in multiple states. 2. However, the moment they are observed, they suddenly behave like particles, meaning they choose one slit over the other. This means that before being observed, reality exists in a state of pure potential, multiple possibilities existing at once. The implications are profound. 1. Reality is not fixed, it shifts based on observation. 2. The physical world is not separate from consciousness, it is shaped by it. This directly aligns with Neville's teachings. Just as quantum mechanics suggests reality is shaped by the observer, Neville taught that your assumptions, thoughts, and imagination create your world. 1. Man's chief delusion is his conviction that there are causes other than his own state of consciousness. When you imagine something as real, you collapse all other possibilities and bring that specific version of reality into existence. This is why Neville stressed, imagination is the very gateway of reality. The hidden quantum code. Your imagination is the operating system of the universe. Reality is not something that happens to you. It is something that happens through you. Your imagination is not just a mental tool, it is the control panel of your reality. Think of the universe as a vast quantum field of infinite possibilities. 1. Every possible reality already exists in potential form. 2. The only thing determining which version you experience is your consciousness. 3. Your imagination acts like a scriptwriter. Whatever story you tell yourself becomes the life you live. Neville was clear. 1. Change your conception of yourself and you will automatically change the world in which you live. 2. A man's mental conversations attract their likeness in his outer world. Just as a programmer inputs commands into a computer, your imagination programs reality itself. When you assume something to be true, you are installing that version of reality into the quantum field. The hidden quantum code is this. Your imagination is the operating system of the universe. Whatever you impress upon it will manifest in the external world. This is not philosophy. It is a fundamental principle of reality. Applying this in your life. The Neville method for conscious creation. How can you use this knowledge to reshape your life? Neville provided a simple yet profound process. 1. Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Do not imagine as an outsider looking in. Step into the scene as though you are already living it. You must make your future dream a present fact by assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled. 2. Live from it, not toward it. Stop hoping for your desire. Stop waiting. Live as though it is already real. If you will assume your desire and live there as though it were true, no power on earth can stop it from becoming a fact. 3. Persist until it hardens into fact. Reality lags behind imagination. Hold the assumption until it congeals into physical form. Your assumption, though false, if persisted in, will harden into fact. 4. Ignore the evidence of the senses. Your external world is just a reflection of your past state of consciousness. If you react to it, you reinforce the old state. Stay firm in your assumption instead. Deny the evidence of the senses and assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Final thought. You are the creator of your reality. There is no separation between you and your world. 1. Your outer reality is a mirror of your inner state. 2. Your assumptions dictate what you experience. 3. Your imagination is the key to everything. Neville said it best. All that you behold, though it appears without, it is within, in your imagination, of which this world of mortality is but a shadow. Now, the question is, 1. What will you imagine next? Chapter 9. The Quantum Leap, Manifesting Without Doubt. You rise to the level of your assumption. You do not manifest what you want. You manifest what you are conscious of being. Neville Goddard. Imagine waking up tomorrow and finding that everything in your life is transformed. Your desires have materialized, obstacles have vanished, and you are effortlessly living the reality you once dreamed of. It may sound like magic, but this is the essence of a quantum leap, an instant shift into a new state of being. Neville Goddard taught that reality does not unfold through slow, gradual steps. Instead, manifestation happens in a single moment, the moment you fully assume your desired state and refuse to entertain doubt. This chapter will explore 1. The phenomenon of quantum jumps, instant shifts in energy states. 2. How Neville's revision technique works to rewrite past and future. 3. The hidden quantum code. Faith is the activator of the quantum leap. Quantum jumps, instantaneous shifts in reality. In quantum physics, there is a concept known as a quantum leap, a phenomenon where an electron jumps from one energy level to another without traveling through the space in between. In other words, it does not transition gradually. It simply disappears from one state and appears in another. This aligns perfectly with Neville's teachings on shifting consciousness. 1. If you will assume your desire and live there as though it were true, no power on earth can stop it from becoming a fact. 2. Man moves in a world that is nothing more or less than his consciousness objectified. When you fully embrace a new state of consciousness, you do not gradually transition into it, you quantum leap into it. The key is to assume your desired state so completely that you leave no room for doubt. This is where most people struggle. They try to manifest, but they carry the vibration of doubt, oscillating between belief and disbelief. Neville was clear. Faith is loyalty to the unseen reality. This means you must be unwavering in your assumption. 1. You do not try to manifest. 2. You do not hope it will happen. 3. You step into the reality as if it already exists. Just as an electron does not transition between energy levels, it jumps instantly. You, too, must fully embrace your desired state in a single leap. Neville's revision technique, rewriting your past and future. One of Neville's most powerful methods for achieving a quantum leap is the revision technique. He taught that time is an illusion. What you call the past is nothing more than a memory stored within your consciousness. Since reality is shaped by consciousness, changing your memory of the past can change your future. The past is not fixed except in the consciousness of those who do not have the wisdom to recreate it. This means, 1. If something undesirable has happened, you can revise it in your imagination as though it unfolded differently. 2. By doing so, you change your subconscious assumptions, which in turn shifts your future. How to use revision for a quantum leap. 1. Replay the event in your imagination. 1. Take a moment that did not go the way you wanted, whether it was a conversation, a financial loss, or a missed opportunity. 2. Rewrite the scene as you wish it had happened. 1. See it unfolding in the ideal way, where everything works in your favor. 3. Feel it as real. 1. Imagine it so vividly that you feel the new memory replacing the old one. 4. Let it go, knowing reality is rearranging itself. Neville promised that if you persist in this practice, the external world will conform to your revised memory. The present is not what it appears to be. It is not an absolute reality, but merely an outpicturing of your assumptions. By rewriting your past, you are effectively quantum jumping into a new timeline, one where the past events that limited you no longer exist. The hidden quantum code. Faith is the activator of the quantum leap. If you want to leap into a new reality, there is only one requirement: unwavering faith. 1. Not partial belief. 2. Not hope. 3. Absolute conviction that your assumption is real. Neville emphasized, faith is not complete until it has become awareness. This means faith is not about believing in something external. It is about knowing, beyond all doubt, that your new reality is already yours. This is the hidden quantum code. Faith is the activator of the quantum leap. Doubt keeps you oscillating between realities. Faith locks you into the one you desire. To manifest without doubt. 1. Assume the wish is already fulfilled. Feel it as real now. 2. Use revision to overwrite past limitations. 3. Refuse to entertain contradictory thoughts. Faith must be unwavering. 4. Remember that reality does not unfold gradually. It shifts instantly when your assumption is firm. Neville left us with this profound truth. Be still and know that you are that which you desire to be, and you will never have to search for it. The moment you fully accept your new state, reality must conform. 1. So, are you ready to take the leap? Chapter 10. The Neville Experiment. Testing the quantum codes for yourself. Test yourself and see. Do you not realize that Jesus Christ is in you? Neville Goddard. Neville Goddard never asked his followers to take his word blindly. He insisted that his teachings be tested. Manifestation, he taught, is a law, not a philosophy. And like any law, whether it be gravity or electromagnetism, it works regardless of whether you believe in it or not. If you have faith as a grain of mustard seed, you shall say unto this mountain, Be removed, and it shall be done. But how do you develop that faith? By proving it for yourself. This chapter introduces the Neville experiment, a structured 7-day plan designed to help you test these hidden quantum codes in real time. We will explore 1. A structured 7-day plan to prove manifestation works. 2. Exercises based on Neville's techniques with quantum insights. 3. Real-life success stories from applying these hidden codes. Are you ready? Let's begin. The 7-day quantum manifestation experiment. Do not accept one thing in this world as final unless it conforms to the ideal you want to realize. Neville taught that manifestation is simple. 1. Define exactly what you want. 2. Enter the state of already having it. 3. Live from that state as if it is already true. The following 7-day Neville experiment is designed to prove to you, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that you are the operant power behind your reality. Each day will introduce one Neville technique, combined with a quantum insight that explains why it works. Day 1. The power of assumption, shifting into a new reality. Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled and persist in that assumption until it becomes your dominant feeling. Neville's law of assumption teaches that your external world is simply a reflection of your internal state. Quantum insight. The observer effect in quantum mechanics states that observation changes reality. You are the observer. When you assume something to be true, reality conforms to that assumption. Exercise. 1. Choose something small but meaningful to manifest within 24 hours, e.g., an unexpected compliment, seeing a specific symbol, a small amount of money. 2. Assume it has already happened. Feel the reality of it. 3. Let go and trust that it will appear. Day 2. Living in the end. The key to collapsing the wave function. To desire a state is to have it. Neville taught that the moment you desire something, it already exists in a parallel reality. Your job is not to chase it, but to shift into it. Quantum insight. The many worlds interpretation suggests that all possibilities exist simultaneously. The reality where your wish is fulfilled is already real. You just need to tune into it. Exercise. 1. Before falling asleep tonight, enter a state of deep relaxation. 2. Feel yourself already living in the reality you desire. 3. See it, hear it, touch it. Experience the sensory details as if it were happening now. 4. Fall asleep in that state. Day 3. The power of revision. Changing your past to alter your future. Change your conception of yourself, and you will automatically change the world in which you live. Neville's revision technique teaches that you can rewrite the past, because time, like reality, is flexible. Quantum insight. Quantum physics suggests time is an illusion. Past, present, and future exist simultaneously. If time is non-linear, changing your memory of the past alters your future. Exercise. 1. Pick a past event that did not go the way you wanted. 2. Close your eyes and replay it differently in your imagination. 3. Feel it as real. 4. Carry this new memory as if it were the actual past. Day 4. Feeling it real, tuning into the quantum field. Imagination is the only redemptive power in the universe. Neville emphasized that manifestation is not about thoughts, it is about feelings. Quantum insight. The zero-point field in physics suggests that all possibilities exist in an infinite energy field. Your emotional state determines what you pull from that field. Exercise. 1. Choose a strong desire you wish to manifest. 2. Imagine it vividly. 3. Feel the joy, gratitude, and relief of having it now. 4. Let go and trust. Day 5. Testing the bridge of incidents. Letting reality rearrange itself. The world is yourself pushed out. Once you assume your desire is fulfilled, reality begins to shift and rearrange itself. Quantum insight. When an electron moves to a different orbit, the space around it restructures. The same happens in your life when you shift states. Exercise. 1. Observe how small signs start appearing today. 2. Recognize that these are not coincidences. They are proof that reality is shifting. 3. Keep a journal of everything that happens. Day 6. Faith as a quantum leap. Manifesting without doubt. Faith is seeing the invisible and believing the impossible. Neville taught that you must live in the certainty that your desire is already yours. Quantum insight. In quantum mechanics, particles exist in a state of probability until observed. Your faith collapses potential into reality. Exercise. 1. Act as if your wish has already come true today. 2. Walk, talk, and behave as though you already have what you want. 3. Observe how the world begins to reflect your new assumption. Day 7. The final test. Proving it to yourself. Dare to assume you are what you want to be, and you will compel everyone to play their part. Neville always said, "Test yourself and see." Quantum insight. Your consciousness is the operating system of reality. If you change your internal programming, your external world must conform. Exercise. 1. Choose something big you want to manifest. 2. Assume it without doubt. 3. Let go, knowing it is already done. 4. Record the results. Real-life success stories from the Neville experiment. Thousands of people have tested Neville's teachings and witnessed miraculous results. From unexpected windfalls of money to healing, career breakthroughs, and even love, those who apply these hidden quantum codes report life-changing transformations. A woman revised an argument with her partner, and the next day, he apologized as if the fight had never happened. A man assumed he was already employed and received a job offer out of nowhere. A skeptic tested Neville's law of assumption. Within 24 hours, he received a random check in the mail. The hidden quantum code. Reality bends to your assumption. The Neville experiment is not about hoping or wishing. It is about knowing that reality bends to your assumption. So now, the final question is, are you ready to test it for yourself? You will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. Chapter 11. Transcending Limitations. Becoming the Quantum Creator. Man is all imagination, and God is man and exists in us and we in him. The eternal body of man is the imagination, that is, God himself. Neville Goddard. Throughout this journey, we have uncovered the hidden quantum codes embedded in Neville Goddard's teachings. Codes that reveal how reality is not something fixed or external, but a fluid, malleable field shaped by consciousness itself. Yet, for many, there is one final barrier: the illusion of limitation. Why do so many struggle with lack? Why does life feel like an uphill battle? Why do some desires manifest instantly while others seem impossible? Neville taught that the only limitation is the one you accept. Change your conception of yourself, and you will automatically change the world in which you live. The truth is, you are not here to seek abundance, love, or success. You are here to create it. And the moment you truly understand this, you will step into your power as the quantum creator. This chapter will reveal 1. How to break the illusion of lack, struggle, and limitation. 2. The hidden power of self-concept and identity shifts. 3. The final quantum code. You are the source, not the seeker, of your reality. Breaking the illusion of lack and struggle. All things exist in the human imagination, and everything you see as an objective reality was first imagined. One of the greatest deceptions in life is the belief that we must earn, fight, or chase what we want. Most people see themselves as separate from their desires, constantly waiting for external circumstances to shift, hoping for a break, or believing they need to work hard to deserve what they want. But Neville shattered this illusion. He taught that everything, wealth, health, love, success, already exists within you. The only reason you don't experience it yet is because your self-concept is not aligned with it. A change of feeling is a change of destiny. In other words, life does not give you what you want. It gives you who you are. If you feel like someone who struggles, you will see struggle. If you feel like someone who lives in lack, you will experience lack. If you feel like someone who is powerful, abundant, and unstoppable, reality will mirror that back to you. The hidden power of self-concept and identity shifts. To be transformed, the whole basis of your thoughts must change. But your thoughts cannot change unless you have new ideas, for you think from your ideas. Your self-concept is the foundation of your reality. Most people try to manifest things, money, relationships, success, but they never change their identity to match what they seek. Neville taught that the secret to effortless manifestation is to assume the identity of the person who already has what you want. You must assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled until your assumption has all the sensory vividness of reality. This is not just a mental trick. It is how reality works at the quantum level. Cyclone quantum insight. In quantum physics, when an electron moves to a higher energy state, it does not gradually climb, it instantaneously jumps. This is known as a quantum leap. The same applies to you. You do not gradually become successful. You shift into the identity of someone who is already successful. You do not slowly attract wealth. You shift into the identity of someone who is already wealthy. You do not hope for love. You shift into the identity of someone who is already deeply loved. Rocket exercise. Identity shift activation. 1. Close your eyes and imagine stepping into the version of you that already has everything you desire. 2. How do they think? How do they move? How do they speak? How do they feel? 3. Feel it as real, because the moment you accept this identity, the quantum field must reflect it. The final quantum code. You are the source, not the seeker. Dare to believe in the reality of your assumption and watch the world play its part relative to its fulfillment. The final and most profound realization in Neville's teachings is this: you are not here to seek. You are here to create. Most people live life like beggars, chasing success, praying for love, hoping for a breakthrough. But the truth is, you are the operant power. Your imagination is the true reality. Your inner world is the cause. Your assumptions shape the universe. Cyclone quantum insight. In quantum physics, the wave function contains all possible realities, but only one materializes, the one that is observed. You are the observer. You are the creator. You are the one choosing which version of reality unfolds. Rocket Final Exercise. The Neville Challenge. 1. For the next 24 hours, assume absolute control over your reality. 2. Declare, I am the cause of my reality. Everything I desire already exists within me. 3. Watch as the world shifts to mirror your new state. The Quantum Creator's Manifesto. Neville left us with a message so powerful, it can redefine your entire existence. There is no fiction. If an imaginal activity can produce a physical effect, our physical world is purely imaginal. Reality is not happening to you. It is happening through you. The limitations you once believed in were never real. The struggle you felt was just a reflection of your state. The dreams you seek are already yours, waiting for you to claim them. You are not here to wish. You are here to assume, create, and command. This is the final quantum code. You are the source. Chapter 12. Living a Miraculous Life. The final revelation. Dare to assume you are already that which you seek. Live as though it were true, and the world will prove it to you. Neville Goddard. What if every limitation you've ever known was a lie? What if reality was never something fixed or external, but something infinitely malleable, bending and reshaping itself according to the assumptions you hold? What if miracles weren't exceptions to the rule of life, but the true nature of existence? Neville Goddard didn't just teach manifestation. He revealed a reality so profound, so radical, that it leaves no room for doubt. You are the creator, not metaphorically, not symbolically, literally. Man moves in a world that is nothing more or less than his consciousness objectified. You are not just a participant in life. You are the author, the operating power, the God of your reality. This chapter is the final key, the last quantum code that, once understood, permanently shifts the way you experience life. It will reveal 1. The quantum truth. Reality is infinitely malleable. 2. The Neville truth. You are already what you seek. Assume it, and it must become real. 3. The final hidden quantum code. You are the God of your reality. The quantum truth. Reality is infinitely malleable. All things exist in the human imagination. For centuries, science and spirituality seemed to stand at odds. But today, quantum mechanics confirms what mystics have always known. Reality is not solid, it is energy. Everything exists in potentiality, waiting for you to observe and assume it into form. Nothing is fixed. Your consciousness determines what manifests. In quantum physics, superposition tells us that every possible version of reality exists at once. It is only when an observer focuses on a specific outcome that it materializes into form. Neville's teachings align perfectly with this. Man does not command things to appear by his words, but by his inner knowing. Assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled, and watch the world reshape itself in harmony with that assumption. In other words, 1. Your current reality is not permanent. 2. Your past does not dictate your future. 3. Your desires already exist, waiting for you to claim them. Exercise, rewriting reality in real time. 1. Pick one thing in your life that you wish to change. 2. Close your eyes and imagine it as already changed. See it, feel it, know it as real. 3. Hold that assumption without contradiction and watch as reality bends in response. The Neville truth: dare to assume you are already that which you seek. To desire a state is to have it. Most people live their lives believing they must earn, struggle, or wait for their desires to manifest. But Neville shattered this illusion. He taught that the moment you assume a state, it is yours. Not in the future. Not one day. This is not wishful thinking. This is the law of reality. Assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled and persist in that assumption. If you do, you will see the world rearrange itself in harmony with that assumption. This is why Neville constantly emphasized: 1. You don't chase wealth, you assume wealth. 2. You don't beg for love, you assume love. 3. You don't hope for success, you assume success. You do not wait to become something. You simply decide that you already are. Exercise the instant identity shift. 1. Think of a desire you've been waiting for. 2. Instead of hoping, say, I am that now. 3. Walk, talk, and feel as if it is already true. The world has no choice but to conform. The final hidden quantum code: you are the God of your reality. Be still and know that I am God. This is the final revelation. You are not a victim of life. You are not at the mercy of fate. You are not separate from the power that creates worlds. You are that power. Your own wonderful human imagination is God. For centuries, religions have painted God as something external, a being outside of you, deciding what you can and cannot have. But Neville tore down that illusion. He revealed the shocking truth. 1. The God you seek is within you. 2. Your imagination is the source of all creation. 3. You are the cause of everything you experience. This is why nothing is impossible. Reality is not happening to you. It is happening through you. Everything you assume, feel, and persist in becomes your world. There is no fiction. If an imaginal activity can produce a physical effect, our world is imaginal. You have always been creating. The question is, are you doing it consciously? Final exercise. The Creator's decree. 1. Close your eyes and declare a new reality. 2. Speak it as absolute fact. 3. Know that your word is law. Final words. The end of seeking, the beginning of knowing. Neville's teachings were never about getting what you want. They were about waking up to the fact that you already have it. You are not separate from your desires. You are not separate from power. You are not separate from God, because you are it. If you dare to assume that you are what you want to be, you will become it. This is the final quantum code. You are the creator. You are the cause. You are the God of your reality. Conclusion: awakening to the ultimate reality. Be still and know that I am God. Neville Goddard. Everything you have read in this book, everything Neville Goddard ever taught, and everything quantum mechanics has revealed about the nature of reality leads to this final, inescapable truth. You are not merely a participant in life. You are the creator of it. This is not philosophy. This is not belief. This is the immutable law of consciousness. There was never anything outside of you. No force dictating your destiny. No external power determining whether your dreams come true or remain unfulfilled. There was only ever you, your awareness, your assumptions, your imagination shaping the world in every moment. You are all imagination, and God is all imagination. You are God. This final chapter is not an ending. It is the beginning of your full awakening, your final quantum activation into mastery over your reality. Your final quantum activation, understanding your divine creative power. Quantum physics has shown us that reality is not fixed, external, or separate from us. It is an extension of consciousness itself. Neville Goddard taught the same truth in different words. A man's consciousness is all that he thinks and desires and loves, all that he believes is true and consents to. That is why a change of consciousness is necessary before you can change your outer world. The ultimate quantum code hidden in Neville's teachings is this. Reality is consciousness externalized. There is no objective world, only your assumptions made manifest. You do not experience the world as it is. You experience the world as you are. Science calls this the observer effect, the way reality shifts and takes form based on the expectations of the observer. Neville called it the law of assumption, the principle that your dominant state of being determines your lived experience. Either way, the conclusion is the same. You do not live in a world of rigid facts. You live in a world of flexible consciousness. You are not a victim of external conditions. You are the cause of them. You do not manifest from effort or struggle. You manifest through knowing and assuming. This is why Neville's teachings work like magic. They do not require time, action, or external permission. They only require you, the Creator, to finally accept your power. The whole vast world is yourself pushed out. The Neville Goddard paradox, beyond material manifestation. At first, people come to Neville Goddard's teachings to get things. 1. They want wealth. 2. They want love. 3. They want success. And Neville never denied this. In fact, he encouraged it. You can have anything you desire if you will assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled and persist in that assumption. But there is a deeper truth hidden beneath the surface of these teachings. A truth so profound that when it is fully grasped, it dissolves all seeking, all striving, and all doubt. That truth is this. You were never meant to get things. You were meant to wake up to who you really are. Everything you have ever desired, money, relationships, freedom, was only a symbol, a mirror reflecting back your own divine power. The real goal was never manifestation. The real goal was self-realization. When a man discovers that his own wonderful human imagination is God, he will turn inward in wonder, rather than outward in despair. This is the Neville Goddard paradox, the shocking revelation that once you truly grasp your divine creative power, you no longer seek anything outside of yourself. You realize, you do not need wealth. You are the source of all abundance. You do not need love. You are love itself. You do not need power. You are the very consciousness that creates universes. And the moment you stop seeking from lack and start creating from knowing, the world effortlessly bends to your will. You do not try to manifest. You simply exist in a state where all things flow to you. The call to mastery, creating from knowing, not hoping. So the question is no longer, how do I manifest? It is, will I accept that I am already the Creator? What techniques should I use? It is, am I ready to live as if my assumptions are law? When will my desires come? It is, Do I dare assume they are already here? Everything is possible to him who believes. This is the call to mastery. It is the invitation to stop practicing, stop hoping, and start living as the operant power of your reality. To finally walk the earth not as a seeker, but as a creator. To accept, fully and without hesitation, that you are already all that you desire to be. And to dare, as Neville said, to assume that which is yours, and watch the world transform before your very eyes. Because the final, ultimate quantum code is this: you are the God of your reality. You always were. You always will be. The only question that remains is, will you finally own it?